In what might be the biggest chicken shit move in the history of broadcasting, ABC has suspended Jimmy Kimmel. Yeah, for what? You'll hear why in a second. This is Brendan Carr, the head of the F.C.C., and following Tiny Finger's orders as threats against networks and affiliates finally got to them. This is Dictatorship 101.
We will absolutely target you.
But now this sackless goon, unhappy that Jimmy Kimmel is exercising his freedom of speech regarding the sad irony that Charlie Kirk was killed by the very gun he and MAGA fought to keep in anyone's hands, crazy or not, has threatened enough affiliates that ABC finally caved. Brendan Carr is the head of the F.C.C. Kimmel, of course, is the Emmy Award-winning talk show host who shoves the truth up Trump's ass nightly. And of course, that means that his lapdog, Brendan Carr, has to get down on all fours and take it from man titties. And Carr is an admitted contributor to Trump's Project 2025, which of course is a blueprint for all of this.
Protests erupt. Trump addresses the nation from the Oval Office, invoking the Insurrection Act and declaring the protesters a danger to American sovereignty.
And now this goon, unhappy that Jimmy Kimmel is exercising his freedom of speech regarding the sad irony that Charlie Kirk was killed by the very gun that he and MAGA fought to keep in anybody's hands, crazy or not, well, he's got his foot to the floor.
In what appears to be an action by Jimmy Kimmel to play into that narrative that this was somehow a MAGA or Republican motivated person.
Look, the killer was a Mormon, and like the millions of other 22-year-old Gen Zs, he didn't vote. But his parents were registered Republicans, and the entire family, with the exception of the estranged sister who was a Democrat, all supported Second Amendment rights. Those are the facts that this goon Brendan Carr says are not up to the standards of the FCC. And as you'll hear, he attacks NBC, ABC, CBS, and claims to be responsible for Colbert and Joy Reid's firings. Oh, okay, I didn't know the government was behind the Paramount CBS bullshit, but thanks for admitting that. Here's what Kimmel said.
Meanwhile, many in MAGA land are working very hard to capitalize on the murder of Charlie Kirk. Yesterday, J.D. Vance, who himself famously called Donald Trump America's Hitler, hosted the Charlie Kirk podcast from the White House, where he pointed his little mascara-stained finger directly at the left.
While our side of the aisle certainly has its crazies, it is a statistical fact that most of the lunatics in American politics today are proud members of the far left.
Right. And by statistical fact, he means complete bullshit is what he means. In fact, so much so that the Department of Justice just removed a study that showed white supremacy and violence from far-right groups is the greatest source of domestic terror and extremist violence in the United States. Here's a question J.D. Vance might be able to answer. Who wanted to hang the guy who was vice president before you? Was that the liberal left or the toothless army who stormed the Capitol on January 6th? The president and his henchmen are doing their best to fan the flames so they can, I guess, attack people on the dangerous left. Which is it? Are they a bunch of sissy pickleball players because they're too scared to get hit by tennis balls, or a well-organized, deadly team of commandos? Because they can't be both of those things.
All right, so let's hear from this FCC goon and his right-wing YouTuber.
Frankly, when you see stuff like this, I mean, look, we can do this the easy way or the hard way. These companies can find ways to change conduct, to take action, frankly, on Kimmel. Or, there's going to be additional work for the FCC ahead.
Okay, right from the start, Trump's lapdog is full of shit. The FCC does not have the power to regulate the content of programming itself because less than 5% of Americans watch TV with rabbit ears, which is the FCC's domain. Oh, and 80% of those people, they live in red states. The FCC's regulations on cable, it focuses on things like access to local broadcast signals or maintaining accessibility features like closed captioning.
What kind of action would you see? I, at the very least, would like to have an on-air apology from Jimmy Kimmel to the Kirk family, to all of those who he slandered, because he did say that Charlie Kirk, he is effectively saying that our movement did this, our movement killed Charlie, that Charlie was deserving of this, effectively.
Kimmel never said that, ever. Show me. Because again, it never happened. But maybe I'm just misunderstanding this guy, because it can't be easy to talk with Trump's cock in your mouth, even as small as it is.
Your leadership is truly beyond anything we have ever had in this country. And you do not have a small penis.
Ah, thanks, gang.
And we've seen that rear its head. This happens quite regularly, actually, on MSNBC and on other networks. Where they're trying to victim blame.
How about the threats Charlie Kirk tweeted? Threats against gay people?
Is that thou shalt lay with another man shall be stoned to death.
And he threatened the president, Joe Biden.
Joe Biden is a bumbling, dementia-filled Alzheimer's, corrupt tyrant who should honestly be put in prison and or given the death penalty for his crimes against America.
Where was this little goon when Fox was broadcasting all this?
I think it's worth it. I think it's worth to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year.
And one of the things that President Trump did when he ran for office, he ran directly at that legacy media establishment. He smashed the facade that they get to control what we say, what we think, the narrative around events. And we're seeing a lot of consequences that are flowing from President Trump doing that. I mean, look, NPR has been defunded. PBS has been defunded. Colbert is retiring. Joy Reid is out at MSNBC. Terry Moran has gone from ABC and now admitting that they are biased. CBS has now made some commitments to us that they're going to return to more fact-based journalism.
Okay, what about when Fox's Brian Kilmeade said that homeless people should be, well, just listen.
They have given billions of dollars to mental health and the homeless population. A lot of them don't want to take the programs. A lot of them don't want to get the help that is necessary. You can't give them a choice. Either you take the resources that we're going to give you or you decide that you're going to be locked up in jail. That's the way it has to be now.
Or involuntary lethal injection. Yeah. Or involuntary lethal injection.
Yeah. How is this motherfucker still on TV, Brendan? Go ahead. I can wait. Take Trump's from your mouth and just tell me.
Some lashing out from people like Kimmel, who are frankly talentless and are looking for ways to get attention.
Talentless? That's rich.
You know, their grip on the narrative is slipping. That doesn't mean that it's still not, important to hold them to the public interest standard. That's what we're going to have to do.
So we did elucidate and enumerate a number of statutes that could be used against ABC. If you would, Mr. Chairman, would you just explain for us what broadcasting in the public interest means? I don't think most people understand actually the depth of how important it is that ABC, NBC, CBS have these gratuitous broadcast privileges granted to them by the American taxpayer.
Here's the most obvious part of this goon's agenda. He never once mentions Fox News, never mentions the lies about the elections.
The election interfering witch hunt process is rigged. It's a rigged election. It's a rigged system.
That caused them to be fined nearly $1 billion.
Truthful reporting in the media is essential to our democracy.
The CEO of Dominion Voting Systems says the nearly $800 million settlement of its defamation suit against Fox News is historic.
Today's settlement of $787,500,000 represents vindication.
And in the weeks following the election, some Fox News hosts and guests like Sidney Powell, Trump's lawyer, echoed those claims and singled out Smartmatic and Dominion Voting Systems for having played a role in getting Joe Biden elected. Of course, it was all a lie, and they knew it was a lie.
President Trump won this election in a landslide. It's going to be irrefutable. I'm going to release the Kraken.
She will serve 6 years probation, pay a $6,000 fine, write a letter of apology to the people of Georgia.
Or the aforementioned Kilmeade, or Jesse Waters calling for a gang rape of Kamala Harris.
She's going to get paralyzed in the Situation Room while the generals have their way with her.
Or allowing Trump to claim that Obama committed treason, or slandering private citizens like Rosie O'Donnell or Colin Kaepernick.
Get that son of a bitch off the field.
Yo, Brendan, it was Fox and Newsmax that tried to steal an election. She'll understand if I say go fuck yourself. And of course, you're protecting a man who assaults children.
Trump admitted he knew Epstein for 15 years.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein?
How long before you make it illegal for me to discuss that?
Possibility of fines or license revocations from the FCC if we continue to run content that ends up being a pattern of news distortion.
And for the record, your project 2025, you have 4 months left, you little bitch, because 2026 belongs to us.
Goddamn right. Seriously, we need to release the F.C.C. list.
It's sitting on my desk.
Do you have no shame?
Are you not entertained?
Who are you talking to?
I could be a stupid person.
Trump admitted he knew Epstein for 15 years.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein?
I'm sorry, man.
You're a nasty person. It's not fair. I couldn't care less. They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
I don't want to talk about this stuff.
Am I wrong?
Yes.
TikTok.
You're in a lot of trouble, Donnie.
I think he's crazy.
I'm Chip Franklin.